moksha. And as such, there came a time in their lives when they realized that, it is time for us to develop our dharma qualities and to achieve moksha. And so they decided to take leave of their responsibilities on the materialistic side and to enter into the domain of what we call a place of divine status. The state that we call the sannyas state. When we detach ourselves, they became vairagi or tyagis, where they went into exile to avoid interaction with normality of human existence of God. Patrick, change kar do? Please forgive me. We have a technical problem with all the changes Pandits had to make today. I'm surprised we are still operating. Give our Pandits a wonderful round of applause, please. Check. Take it, धन्यवाद. So last night we, Mandir Chupa, have appealed to God in their austerities with only one thought in mind. Although they were tempted many times, they had only one objective. We want to see God. Now, a question that we have to ask ourselves, if we want to see God, do we perceive God coming to us as Bhagavan Krishna, Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, Durga, Ganesh, Saraswati? In our concept of religion, yes. Because we call this the Ishtayota, whereby everyone has a chosen form of the Divine Lord. And when they contemplate God, they will maintain that Devata that they have chosen. And as such, God is represented by that form. The analogy that one can look at, that every mother is a mother and a child has a mother. But when a child mentions the word Ma, that child only sees their mother the way she looks. But that person represents motherhood. But every mother is a mother. But when this child calls upon mother, this child only sees their mother. Because we have chosen to accept that. Similarly, when we have Ishtadev, when we hear Bhagavan, we see only that concept of the Bhagavan in our mind. Although others may have different concept, all of them representing God, like all mothers represent motherhood. Similarly, the different forms we look at represent Divine Lord, but in different appreciation, appreciated by different people in different ways. So Mandir Satrupa chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and appealing to the Lord, and he responded last night, and we will join him, for those of you who are following me, page 106. They express their wish to the Divine Lord. Doha. Dani Siromani Kripa Nidhani, Dani Siromani Kripa Nath kaho Sati bhav O Rama, Nath kaho Sati bhav, चाहो तुम ही समान सुत, प्रभु सन कवन गौराओ। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। Mandir Chupa, in their austerities, was able to bring the Divine Lord from his heavenly abode to the earthly abode. The analogy that we must relate to is that you and I have the power through our devotion to demand God's presence. And God succumbs to our demands, not because we are demanding, but we are devoted in wanting His presence. And as such, because of the devotion, the Lord prakata away, and in all of His beautiful form, and they saw Him that way. They were happy, but then, like all human beings, we said we only want one thing, and when we get that one thing, we want something else. They said, "Oh Lord, we have seen you, but there is one desire deeply hidden. And what is that desire? We would like to have a son like you." And therein lies one of the Leela concept, that it is through the demand of the devotees, the Lord is responding. That is why He will take birth and He will come into the home. So let's see how the Divine Lord responded to Manu and Sutrupa Chopai.
Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Oh, देखी प्रीति सुनु बचन अमोले, एवं मस्तु करना निधि बोले. सको जो कह जाई, निपट पतन तुम में आई. सिया राम जय राम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम. सतरूपही बोल की कर जोरे, देवी मांगो भर जोर चितोरे. सिया राम जय राम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम. जो भरुनाथ चतुर निप मांगा, सोई कृपाल मोहि अति. सिया राम जय राम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम.
The Divine Lord, listening to the request of the devotee, was moved and touched. When someone says to you that they would like the most prized relationship in their life to be like you, and what is the most prized relationship in the life of any parent? Their children. Not only sons, daughters too. They tend to be a little bit chauvinistic concept here, that we think that it's only sons that are important, daughters are equally important. And let us digress for a minute to point out to everyone that in all the presentations, and only in Sanatana Dharma, which we call Hinduism, this concept of women having equal rights on the altar of divinity, that we treat man and woman equally as divine, and as such we always give them first preference. Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna, and so on. Siyapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. They made the request that they want a son like him, and the Lord responded, "There is no other like me. So if you want a son like me, then I have no choice but to be that son to you." And so it is, the Lord made a commitment. And when the Lord made a commitment, let's see how the devotee responded to the Lord after he made that commitment. Well, he asked for a son like the